In the beginning of the drama, we see the female lead, Chusia, walking in a very lovely, fancy, and beautiful house. The kind of life Chusia has gotten is every girl's dream. Now, we see a scene from 2 days ago, in the past, where Chusia lived in a small house with her mom, where there was always a need for money. Today, Chusia's mom's health was bad, which is why Chusia goes to deliver milk bottles, but Chusia gets ready and goes in a very strange way. In the next scene, we see the male lead, Hani, who is studying in a cafe. In the same cafe, a person is bothering his girlfriend. That person's rudeness is increasing so much that Hani, despite not wanting to, has to come and protest. Hani starts giving that person a lecture on physics, so that person starts showing Hani a knife, which makes Hani angry, so he pushes that person and throws him out. Just then, Chusia is also arriving there, so Chusia and that person collide with each other, causing all of Chusia's milk bottles to fall. So Chusia asks that person for money. Just then, Hani comes out. So that person says, "This boy pushed me, so you take the money from him." So Chusia goes to Hani to ask for money, but Hani ignores her. Then Chusia's foot lands on a can, and she falls on top of Hani. Chusia's lucky pendant also falls into Hani's bag, and Chusia and Hani also happen to kiss. Then they both quickly get up and start wiping their lips, and Hani leaves from there. Then Hanki's friend, Ling Yu, gives Chuya money and leaves from there. Just then, Chuya looks for her lucky pendant, but it's not with her. Then she remembers that the pendant fell into Hanki's bag, so she starts following them. In the next scene, we see a college bus with a lot of students in it. Hanki and Ling Yu also studied at the same college, but they were going in their car. Now, the milk bottles Chusia was going to deliver were for these very students, and when all these students don't get the milk bottles delivered, they complain to the teacher. And on the other side, Chusia's mom gets a phone call. "Deliver the order quickly." Hearing this, Chusia's mom gets worried and leaves from there without thinking twice. And over here, the college bus gets hijacked. Just then, Hanchi's car stops behind them, so the hijackers tell them to get on the college bus too. Chusia is also behind them, so they make Chusia sit on the bus too. And Ling Yu says to Chusia, "If you call the police, then I will give you 1.1 million. But Chusia didn't want to get into this mess, so Hanki says, "Fine, if you can get out of here, then go." In the next scene, Chusia's mom is very worried. The red signal turns green, but the mom doesn't notice anything. Just then, a car comes from the front and Chusia's mom has an accident. So Chusia's friend Feng takes her to the hospital. In the next scene, the hijackers take all the students to a place and demand money from all the students. Han Kai finds the hijackers' voices familiar. Chusia says to the hijackers, "I am not a student. I am a delivery girl, so please let me go." So the hijackers tell Chusia to leave. As Chusia is leaving, she remembers Ling Yu's offer. So, on the pretext of taking her pendant from Han Ki's bag, she takes him aside and says, "Did your friend tell the truth that if I get the thugs caught, I will get money?" Han Ki says, "Yes, of course." So Chusia makes a plan. She will faint, and as soon as the hijackers come close to her, she will capture one thug and tell the others to run away from there. But in reality, that doesn't happen, because instead of grabbing the hijacker's hand, Chusia mistakenly grabs Han Ki's hand and captures him. Just then, a hijacker gets a call, and he accidentally says his real name. Then everyone finds out that this was all their teacher's doing. Now, whether it was his doing or not, Chusia had at least tried, right? That's why she asks for her money, but Ling Yu doesn't give her the money. In the next scene, Han Ti's mom also comes to the same hospital because Chusia's mom was going to donate her kidney after dying, and Han Ki's dad also needed a kidney. But right now, Chusia's mom was still alive. So Feng feels very bad hearing this, and he pounces on Han Chi. And then Feng calls Chusia and tells her everything. Hearing this, Chusia is very shocked. Just then, Han Chi finds out that a kidney has been arranged for his dad. Hearing this, he becomes very happy, and in the name of a reward, he starts offering Chusia alms. Chusia was very upset, and hearing Han Chi's words, she punches him very hard. In the next scene, Han Ki's mom comes to see Chusia's mom, so Chusia's mom requests, "Until my daughter graduates and gets married into a good family and leaves, will you take care of her?" "Yeah." And then, Chusia's mom tells her about all of Chusia's habits, what she likes and what she doesn't. And then she starts crying. Han Ki's mom could understand her pain, so she promises, "I will keep Chusia like my own daughter." And then Han Chi comes to see his dad, and Chusia also comes for her mom. So Feng tells her about her mom's kidney donation. Chusia couldn't meet her mom for the last time, so she starts blaming Han Chi. And when Chuxia's mom is brought out, Chuxia starts crying a lot because she had no one else in this world besides her mom. Just then, Han Chi's mom says to Chuxia, "From now on, I am your mom, and I will take full care of you." In the next scene, Chuxia comes to stay at Han Chi's house. She comes to stay here because of her mom's last wish. Han Chi's mom takes Chuxia to her room. A little while later, Han Chi goes to Chuxia's room and says, "Take as much money as you want from me, but please leave this house." So Chuxia says, "I am not living here by choice. I am living here to fulfill my mom's last wish." After that, when Han Chi is sleeping in his room, Chuxia goes to his room to get her pendant. So Han Chi grabs Chuxia in his sleep, and during this, they both kiss again. Seeing this, they both quickly move back, and Chuxia quickly takes the pendant and runs away from there. In the next scene, at the breakfast table, Han Chi finds out that Chuxia is also going to take admission in his college, and Han Chi doesn't like this at all. He wanted Chuxia to be admitted to some other ordinary college. Han Chi's mom says, "I am getting Chuxia admitted to the college by calling her a family member." So Han Chi says, "If that happens, my friends will ask how your sister was born overnight." So Han Chi's mom says, "That's why I am admitting Chuxia as your wife." Hearing this, water comes out of Chuxia's mouth and goes onto Han Chi's face. But Han Chi refuses this. So Han Chi's mom says, "I will return the telescope you ordered online." So Han Chi agrees, and then both get ready for college. In the next scene, when both are going to college together in a car, Han Chi says to Chuxia, "In college, you are not to treat me like a friend. And whenever you meet me, greet me respectfully and call me Master Han." Chuxia also had no desire to be with Han Chi. Now, seeing Chuxia's attitude, Han Chi tells her to get out of the car. So the manager says to Han Chi, "Your mom has told me to take good care of Chuxia." Now, upon reaching college, Han Chi calls everyone over and says, "Chuxia is my maid." Hearing this, Chuxia gets very angry, but she was happy that she was finally going to fulfill her parents' wish. Chuxia's old friends also take admission in this college. In the next scene, when Chuxia goes to class and introduces herself to everyone, no one pays attention to her. Instead, everyone is busy talking to each other. So Chuxia's friend Meng says, "Everyone in school is like this. Don't take their words to heart." Just then, the principal comes into the class and says, "Your teacher got injured during military training. So from today, he will teach you." A little while later, a student enters the class who had been bullied by someone. So the principal sees his face and asks, "What happened to you?" But the boy doesn't say anything and tells a lie. Chuxia gets very angry seeing this because Chuxia had seen that boy being bullied. Chuxia stands up to tell the truth, but Meng pulls her skirt and makes her sit back down, which tears Chuxia's skirt. So Meng sews her skirt, and when Chuxia goes outside, everyone starts laughing at her because Meng had sewn her skirt crookedly. Chuxia feels very awkward, so Meng tells her to walk confidently. On the other side, Han Chi is getting very angry because Chuxia was late. He repeatedly tells the manager to go home, but the manager doesn't leave without Chuxia. Just then, Chuxia arrives there, so Han Chi starts yelling at her. Then a girl comes there and starts begging Han Chi for his love. So Han Chi tells the security guard to take her away. In the next scene, when they both go home, Han Chi's mom asks Chuxia, "How was your day today?" But Chuxia walks away with a sad face. Seeing this, Han Chi's mom gets worried and tells Han Chi to behave well with Chuxia. But Han Chi doesn't listen to her, so Han Chi's mom again threatens him about the telescope. In the next scene, Chuxia is walking and talking with Ming in college. Just then, Han Chi comes from the front, and Chuxia's hand hits Han Chi's eyes. So they start fighting, and Han Chi orders Chuxia to bring a cold drink. His friend also wanted to go with Chuxia, but Han Chi stops him. Now, Han Chi was calling Chuxia a maid, and Han Chi was arguing with his maid. This news spreads throughout the college, and the story escalates to the point that Han Chi had gotten his maid pregnant, which is why his maid was arguing with him. Now, Chuxia and Ming bring a cold drink and drop it near Han Chi's feet. So Han Chi tells Chuxia to give cold drinks to the whole class. As soon as Chuxia enters the class, a dustbin falls on her face, and then all of Han Chi's classmates and Chuxia start fighting with each other. But Han Chi says nothing to them. In the next scene, Han Chi's classmate, who liked Han Chi, sends her friend Wanzi to Chuxia's class. That is, she was looking for Chuxia on behalf of her boss. When Wanzi doesn't see Chuxia in the class, she asks a boy about Chuxia, who is very innocent, whose name is Jiang. So Jiang calls Chuxia sister and says, "I don't know." So Wanzi starts hitting that boy. And then Wanzi's boss also comes, whose name is Xin Wei, and she is the one who liked Han Chi. And Wanzi is still hitting that boy. Just then, Chuxia arrives there. So Wanzi stops hitting him and starts taunting Chuxia. How can such an ordinary girl like you get admission in such a big school? And on top of that, you are going to be the mother of Han Chi's child. Hearing this, Chuxia starts laughing and enjoying this rumor. Now, seeing Chuxia's confidence, Xinwei insults Chuxia and leaves from there. So Zhang says, "Thank you to Chuxia." So Chuxia says, "I saved you today, but I won't be with you all the time, right?" In the next scene, Han Chi did not like what his classmates did to Chuxia at all. That's why he starts asking everyone, whose dirty idea was this? And this idea belonged to a boy named Gaogan. Fearing being caught, Gaogan tells the other students to take all the blame on themselves. So the students stand up and say, this plan was for the teacher and Chuxia came by mistake. But Han Chi knew that they had made this plan for Chuxia only. So he gets angry and leaves from there. In the next scene, Chuxia is having lunch. Just then, 3 students come and place a lot of food in front of Chuxia because they thought only Chuxia can save us from Han Chi's hands. That's why they insist that Chuxia eat the food, but it was all seafood, and Chuxia was allergic to seafood. That's why she refuses to eat. So the 3 students refuse and say, if Chuxia won't save us from Han Chi's hands, then who will save us? So to please them, Chuxia starts eating that seafood and says, I am not pregnant. These are just rumors that have been spread. Hearing this, the students think that maybe Chuxia wants to hide all this. In the next scene, Han Chi is sleeping under a tree, looks at a locket, and then starts thinking about his ex-girlfriend. In the next scene, everyone asks Chuxia to go to dinner. So Chuxia takes them all to her favorite friend Feng's diner. And over here, Han Chi's mom is worried about Chuxia going out. And she again threatens Han Chi with the telescope and tells him to go there. So Han Chi, despite not wanting to, gets ready to go. And over here, seeing Chuxia's friendship with Feng, Ling Yu also gets a little jealous. Just then, some thugs come there to ask Feng for money. So Feng says, come some other day. But those people don't agree and say, we will beat your friends too. And then Chuxia talks to those thugs, so the thugs start misbehaving with Chuxia. So Feng starts to protect her, which angers the thugs, and they start hitting Feng. So Chuxia and her friends also start fighting with those thugs. Now, a thug is about to hit Chuxia when Han Chi arrives there and saves Chuxia. And then the boys push all the girls behind and start fighting themselves. Chuxia wasn't backing down at all, so Meng pulls her away from there. Now, when the boys have beaten those thugs, many more thugs come from behind. Seeing these thugs, Feng, Han Qi, and Ling Yu try to run from there. In the next scene, Chuxia is sitting in the room applying medicine to Han Qi's wound. Han Qi's mom is sitting outside with her ear to the door because she thought that Chuxia and Han Qi were being romantic inside. But just then, Han Qi opens the door, so Han Qi's mom starts pretending to look for her earring. So Han Qi closes the door again, and Chuxia starts applying the medicine again and says, sorry for today's incident. Then Han Qi again tells Chuxia to leave the house. So Chuxia says, first, let me arrange for a house, then I will leave from here. In the next scene, Chuxia is waiting for Meng outside the college. Just then, Ling Yu comes there and says, don't you want to go home? So Chuxia says, I am waiting for Meng. And then Chuxia also says, sorry to Ling Yu for yesterday. Seeing Chuxia so worried, Ling Yu asks, what do you need to talk to Meng about? But Chuxia doesn't tell him anything. So Ling Yu starts using her with their friendship. Then Chuxia says, I need a house. Hearing this, Ling Yu takes Chuxia to his grandmother's house. Chuxia likes that house a lot. When she sees a sewing machine, she sits down to try it. Chuxia's mom was a great designer, so she had learned a little from her mom. Now, Chuxia decides to live in that same house. And when it comes to repaying the debt, Chuxia says, except for marrying you, I will do anything you say. So Ling Yu asks Chuxia to go to a place with him. So Chuxia says, where? So Ling Yu says, you were the one who said that except for marriage, you will do anything I say. So Chuxia says, if you keep treating me like this, I will propose to you for marriage too. In the next scene, Han Qi's mom tries hard to convince Chuxia not to leave the house. She gives her many offers, but Han Qi ruins those offers. So Han Qi's mom says, until Han Qi's dad comes home and meets you, you will not go anywhere. Saying this, Han Qi's mom leaves. So Han Qi gives Chuxia time to stay until his dad comes. In the next scene, Ling Yu comes to pick up Chuxia, and Han Qi also goes with them. And then the 3 of them go to a very beautiful place. While crossing a bridge, Chuxia starts bothering Han Qi. Han Qi was afraid of heights, so Chuxia starts shaking the bridge repeatedly, which scares Han Qi a lot. And when it's time to click a photo, Han Qi deliberately doesn't include Chuxia in the camera and starts moving the camera here and there. After that, the 3 of them watch the stars together at night. So Han Qi starts telling them about the stars in physics language. Then Chuxia says the same thing to him that Han Qi's ex-girlfriend used to say. In the next scene, everyone in school gets agriculture work. Hearing this, everyone is very sad because they didn't want to do this work. But Ming and Chuxia are very happy about this. And then Jiang is carrying vegetables when Gao Gan comes and starts bothering him and sits on top of the vegetables. Chuxia is watching all this and can't bear it, so she comes to protest. Ming takes Chuxia from there, but Chuxia doesn't go and kicks Gao Gan, causing him to fall. So everyone comes to help him up, but Gao Gan tells them all to shout so that the principal will come. And as soon as everyone shouts, the principal comes there. So Wanzi and Xinwei take Chuxia's name and say, "Sir, she is the one who pushed Gao Gan." Meng tells Jiang to tell the truth, but Jiang doesn't say anything because he knew that if he told the truth, he would have a lot of problems in the future. Now, because Chuxia was from Han Qi's house, the Sir leaves this matter to Han Qi. But this was not acceptable to Chuxia. She didn't want to take any favor from Han Qi for no reason, meaning she didn't want to beg from Han Qi. So the principal gives Chuxia a punishment and says, "The work that you all were supposed to do together, now only you will do it." So Chuxia also agrees and starts doing all the work alone. Ming, Jiang, and all the others wanted to help Chuxia, but the principal stops them. Now, working since morning, Chuxia gets tired and faints. In the next scene, we see Dr. Maria, who was the school doctor. All the students were crazy about her, and as soon as Dr. Maria gives Chuxia an injection, she regains consciousness. So Ling Yu tells her, Han Qi has taken action against Gao Gan. Hearing this, Chuxia can't believe it. In the next scene, there is a traditional class where they are taught how to make tea and how to serve it. Xinwei was very good at this, so she makes good tea and serves it to Han Qi. But Han Qi's eyes were on Chuxia. Xinwei makes tea for Han Qi with so much love, but Han Qi pays no attention to her, so Xinwei sadly goes back to her seat. Now, as soon as Chuxia makes tea and is about to give it to Ling Yu, Han Qi comes and takes the tea from her hand and starts drinking it. And after drinking the tea, he says, "Chuxia, your tea was made very badly." In the next scene, Chuxia takes a flower vase for the teacher and goes to his house because Chuxia had broken one of the teacher's flower vases. Now, as soon as Chuxia goes into the teacher's room, she is impressed by seeing so many paintings, and she likes one painting very much. So the teacher gives that painting to Chuxia, which makes Chuxia very happy. After Chuxia leaves, when the teacher looks at the vase, it is exactly the same as the one Chuxia had broken, but now it was of no use. In the next scene, Chuxia is standing inside the college. Just then, something is about to fall on her, but Ling Yu comes and saves her and says, "This was not Han Qi's doing. Don't misunderstand him." So Chuxia says, "Yes, he can't do that." And then when they both go for dinner at night, Chuxia says, "Thank you to Ling Yu." So Ling Yu says, "Take care of yourself from now on." Over here, Han Qi's mom is worried for Chuxia and tells Han Qi to wait for Chuxia outside. But Han Qi doesn't agree, so his mom again threatens him with the telescope. So Han Qi immediately gets up and goes outside. He goes near the gate and starts waiting for Chuxia, and also abuses Chuxia a lot. Just then, Chuxia and Ling Yu are coming. So Han Qi doesn't know where to hide, so he quickly starts taking a night walk and passes between Chuxia and Ling Yu. And as soon as Chuxia goes inside, Han Qi comes again and asks Ling Yu, "Where are you two coming from?" and then starts to go back. But Ling Yu grabs him and takes him inside and tells everyone about the incident that happened with Chuxia. Hearing this, Han Qi's mom gets worried and says she will hire a lot of bodyguards for Chuxia. Hearing this, Han Qi starts making fun of his mom and says, yes, no problem. Get some children for Chuxia too. They will be for Chuxia's entertainment." And when they can't find any other way, Han Qi says, "From tomorrow I will be Chuxia's personal bodyguard." Hearing this, the three of them are shocked. In the next scene, when Chuxia is having lunch at college, Han Qi also comes and sits next to her. And then when there is a PT class, Han Qi also starts running with Chuxia. So Chuxia starts getting irritated because of Han Qi. Girls start running after Han Qi. In the next scene, Chuxia is studying in class, so Han Qi also comes to her class and sits next to Chuxia. Chuxia moves away from Han Qi, but Han Qi gets close to her again. Just then, Han Qi sees someone passing by outside. Han Qi knew who it was and why he was after Chuxia. That's why Han Qi announces in front of the whole class, shouting, "From today, Chuxia is mine. No one will even look at her." Hearing this, Chuxia punches Han Qi in the stomach, so Han Qi kisses Chuxia's hand, which makes Chuxia very angry. In the next scene, Chuxia is walking, avoiding Han Qi, when a girl comes in front of her and shows Chuxia a knife. And Han Qi's guess was absolutely right. This girl had come here for Han Qi. That's why she was repeatedly trying to harm Chuxia. Now that girl is about to kill Chuxia when Han Qi comes there and gets hurt. So Chuxia ties a handkerchief on Han Qi's wound. So that girl says to Han Qi, "Chuxia is unlucky for everyone. Whoever she is with, something bad happens to them. And because of her, the teacher has to pay a huge debt because she broke the teacher's flower vase. And because of that, his bank balance is completely empty." Hearing this, Chuxia gets upset and leaves from there. so Han Chi starts yelling at that girl. Then Gaogan comes and takes her away, and Gaogan had kept this girl locked up for many years. This girl has been in love with Han Chi for the last 10 years. This girl couldn't see anything besides Han Chi, and Gaogan also loved this girl very much. But that girl was so blind in her love for Han Chi that Gaogan's love made no difference to her. In the next scene, Chuxia is going somewhere with Feng. Han Chi is watching this, and when the manager asks, he tells him Chuxia has gone with someone else. And over here, Feng takes Chuxia to his friend's garage, and according to Chuxia's request, she gets a job, more money in less time, for which Chuxia says thank you to Feng. Then Chuxia works very hard, and she also gets the fruit of her hard work. When Chuxia gets the money, two boys are standing there who start getting jealous of Chuxia, meaning these people had been working here for so long, but they were never treated like this. And when Chuxia comes back home after work, Han Chi is waiting for her. Seeing this, Chuxia is shocked and say, "What are you doing here?" So Han Chi says, "I fell asleep here while studying." Chuxia says, "Do you study in the dark these days?" Just then, Han Chi's mom comes and says, "I told Han Chi to go to sleep, but Han Chi said I will wait for Chuxia." Poor Han Chi is left holding his head because his cover was blown. Hearing this, Chuxia is shocked, and Han Chi leaves from there before asking Chuxia anything. In the next scene, Chuxia is working at her job, so the same two boys start bothering Chuxia and misbehaving with her. Just then, Ling Yu comes and covers for Chuxia and explains things to both of them properly. And Han Chi also gets angry at those boys and tells them to do their work properly. Now, Ling Yu knew why Chuxia was doing the job, so he tells Chuxia, "Become Dr. Maria's personal nurse," because Ling Yu and the Sir both wanted Dr. Maria to take care of Chuxia. So Chuxia also agrees and starts working with Dr. Maria. In the next scene, Chuxia gets permission from the principal for a photo exhibition because she wanted to help the teacher and bring his artwork in front of everyone. So the principal also gives her permission. In the next scene, Chuxia is diligently preparing for the exam. Han Chi's mom keeps calling Chuxia, but Chuxia is so busy studying that she doesn't listen to her. So Han Chi, while teasing Chuxia, starts telling his mom a story and says, "There was someone who wanted to do an art exhibition, but the person for whom the exhibition was being held, people didn't even know him. Now you tell me, who goes to see an exhibition of someone people don't even know?" But Han Chi's mom loved Chuxia very much, so she takes Chuxia's side. In the next scene, Chuxia is waiting for Han Chi outside his room. Han Chi is in the washroom, so he is a little late in opening the door. Now, no matter how much Han Chi teased Chuxia, behind his teasing was Chuxia's well-being. But Chuxia thought that Han Chi was trying to put her down, which gave Chuxia the courage to move forward. That's why Chuxia says to Han Chi, "Thank you for boosting my courage, even if it's through teasing." Now, hearing such sweet words from Chuxia's mouth, something comes out of his mouth and lands on Chuxia's face. So Chuxia starts wiping her face with Han Chi's towel. Just then, Han Chi's mom sees this and misunderstands something. So Han Chi tries to explain to his mom, "It's not what you're seeing." But his mom is very happy to see this. In the next scene, Chuxia and Meng are running ads for the exhibition. Just then, the teacher comes and stands next to them and starts asking them, "What are you doing?" Chuxia and Meng don't say anything, so the teacher scolds them and takes the page from them. Then he gets angry at Chuxia because Chuxia was doing all this without asking him. That's why the teacher scolds Chuxia a lot and forbids them from doing all this. But still, Chuxia doesn't listen and starts preparing for the exhibition. She also takes help from Ling Yu and gives him the responsibility of bringing all the paintings. And on the other side, Dr. Maria keeps the teacher entangled in her sweet talk. And then Class B together starts decorating that room with paintings. And over here, this news spreads throughout the school that Chuxia is trying to bring out the teacher's talent. And this escalates and finally reaches the principal in such a way that Chuxia is removing the principal and making the teacher the principal. That's why the principal comes to scold Chuxia and tells them to stop the exhibition at that very moment. And over here, Dr. Maria also can't handle the teacher anymore, so the truth comes out of her mouth. Hearing this, Teacher Tian gets angry and immediately goes to his room, but there isn't a single painting there. Then he quickly goes to save the students from the principal and apologizes to the principal on behalf of all the students. But the principal was very angry, so he punishes Chuxia and the other students who supported her. Hearing this, Teacher Tian says to the principal, "Whatever it is, however it is, they were doing all this for me. So if they get punished, I will also get punished with them." Then the students start speaking in support of Teacher Tian. Just then, Han Chi comes there and says to the principal, "You were the one who gave Chuxia permission, right?" So the principal says, "Yes, but she didn't tell me who she wanted to do the exhibition for." Now, Han Chi was the son of a board member, so if he wanted, the principal couldn't stop the exhibition. But Han Chi tells Chuxia Chuxia to kneel and beg. But Chuxia was also a stubborn girl. She doesn't agree to this and gets ready to fight. That's why Han Ki arranges a basketball competition. Chuxia didn't know any sports game, so everyone tells her to give up. But Chuxia accepts this challenge. So Han Chi says, if you make even one shot in 30 minutes, she can use this playground for the exhibition. In the next scene, the competition starts, and Han Ki's score becomes 28, but Chuxia remains at 0-0. When Chuxia gets tired and sits down, Han Ki comes and inspires her, but his way of inspiring was like a challenge, which gives Chuxia a lot of energy, and she starts playing again. And in the end, Chuxia scores a goal, but because 30 minutes were up, Class A doesn't want to accept it. But Han Ki accepts defeat and says, Chuxia has won. Now, the principal can't say anything about this either. But how could the principal allow the exhibition without the permission of the other board members? So Han Ki's mom comes and convinces the other board members, so the principal also gives permission. Then, the exhibition starts with great fanfare. In the next scene, Meng quickly comes to Chuxia and says, the principal has fired Teacher Tian. Hearing this, Chuxia quickly gets up and starts to leave from there. In the next scene, Han Chi goes to Teacher Tian and gives him a check saying, do you have any paintings left or not? So Teacher Tian says, I have only one painting left. So Han Chi takes that painting, and Teacher Tian leaves from there. Over here, Chuxia runs to Teacher Tian's room, but there is nothing there, and Teacher Tian leaves a letter for Chuxia, on which it was written, I am leaving this job of my own free will, so don't misunderstand the principal. In fact, the principal has given me a lot of love, and I came here for a very short time, but in such a short time, I have received so much love, and I consider myself lucky to have been the teacher of Class B, and sorry that I am leaving so quietly. After reading all this, Chuxia becomes sad. In the next scene, as soon as Teacher Tian leaves, the old teacher comes back, and this was the same teacher whom Chuxia had punched. And this teacher is very angry at Chuxia and orders her to clean the classroom. In the next scene, Han Ki's birthday was approaching. So Ling Yu asks Han Chi, what gift do you want from Chuxia? So Han Chi says, I don't want any gift from her. But Han Chi goes home and deliberately talks about his birthday to the manager so that Chuxia can hear. But Chuxia ignores him and leaves. So Han Chi thinks that maybe Chuxia didn't hear. So he goes to Chuxia and starts shouting about his birthday. Hearing this, Chuxia gets irritated and leaves. So the manager understands that he wants to ask Chuxia to come to his birthday. So he talks to Han Chi, but Han Chi refuses and leaves from there. But in reality, Han Chi wanted Chuxia to come to his birthday. That's why he gives Chuxia some money in the name of a salary so that Chuxia can buy a gift for him. So Chuxia says, you don't want to do anything inappropriate with me in exchange for this money, do you? So Han Chi says, even if you take the money, I won't say anything to you. Now, Chuxia didn't want so much money, so she takes out some money and gives the rest back to Han Chi. So Han Chi tells her to keep all the money. So Chuxia goes inside to get something so that she can keep the money in exchange for it. But as soon as Chuxia comes back, Han Chi is not there. In the next scene, the students of Class B wanted to go to Han Chi's birthday, but they knew that Han Chi would not invite them. That's why everyone starts requesting Chuxia and says, you go and tell Han Chi to invite us to the birthday too. But just then, Han Chi comes there and invites all the students of Class B to his birthday party. But Chuxia refuses. So Han Chi says, are you not coming to the party because you don't want to give a gift? But you can spend some of the money I gave you yesterday and buy a gift for me. And this news spreads in the school like this. Han Ki gave money to Chuxia like a husband, and Han Chi is going to propose to Chuxia for marriage on his birthday. In the next scene, Chuxia goes to meet Feng, and the last time Chuxia went, she wrote a wish, and now someone had replied to that wish, so Chuxia is very happy. And then Chuxia had made some dresses that were sold for a very expensive price. So Feng gives the money for the dresses to Chuxia. So Chuxia gives half the money to Feng because after her mom left, Feng was the only one who could call her his own. In the next scene, Chuxia goes to his grandma's house with Ling Yu and starts sewing a shirt for Han Chi. Over here, Han Chi is waiting for Ling Yu and Chuxia. The manager was repeatedly asking him to cut the cake, but Han Chi was in no hurry. And all the guests also arrive there, and Xinwei comes so dressed up with a gift for Han Chi, but Han Chi doesn't pay any attention to her. After waiting for so long, Chuxia and Ling Yu arrive there, so Han Chi starts the party and gives a thank you speech for everyone. After giving the speech, Han Chi goes to Chuxia, so Xinwei also follows him. Ling Yu says, won't you ask Chuxia what gift she has prepared for you? So Han Chi says, I already said that I don't expect any gift from Chuxia. So Chuxia says, if you don't want the gift, then don't take it. Just then, Wan Zi comes there and says, let's play truth or dare. So Chuxia refuses to play, so Ling Yu convinces her. Then Han Chi takes the gift from Chuxia's hand and says, let her do whatever she wants, and leaves from there. So Ling Yu convinces Chuxia and takes her to play the game. And then when they play the game, Chuxia chooses Dare, on which it was written she has to kiss one of the boys sitting with her. Xinwei says, "You kiss Ling Yu." And Ling Yu also has no objection to this, but it was up to Chuxia to decide. Wanzi says, "What's the big deal about kissing Ling Yu? The real deal will be when you kiss Han Qi." Han Qi says, "Chuxia doesn't have the guts to kiss me," and calling it boring, he starts to leave from there. So Chuxia grabs him and kisses him, which leaves Han Qi's eyes wide open, but then he also closes his eyes. Seeing all this, Chuxia's friends are also shocked, and Han Qi's mom is very happy to see this. And over here, Chuxia says, "Who said I don't have the guts to do a dare?" Now the kiss was long over, but Han Qi was still sitting in shock. Now the game starts again, and this time it's Han Qi's turn, and Han Qi chooses truth. So Chuxia asks, "Everyone talks about a person related to you. Who is that person?" Hearing this, Han Qi tells her to change the question, because Chuxia didn't know that, by asking this question, she was hurting Han Qi. And then she asks the same question again in a slightly different way. So Han Qi gets angry and leaves from there. So Ling Yu also goes after him. And Xinwei also gets a chance, so she hurts Chuxia by talking about her dead mom so that she can realize her mistake. So Chuxia really realizes her mistake and is going to apologize to Han Qi. So Xinwei says to her, "If you sing the song Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Han Qi's mood will become very good because he likes this song a lot." But Xinwei was lying. He couldn't stand this song at all. Over here, Ling Yu is calming Han Qi's mood and bringing him back. Just then, he hears the same song, so he goes out angrily to see, and Chuxia is playing the piano and singing that song and singing very badly. Han Qi stops there while she is singing the song. So Chuxia quickly comes to Han Qi because she thought that Han Qi's mood would have improved with this song. But Han Qi is so angry that he grabs Chuxia forcefully, which causes Chuxia a lot of pain, but he can't see Chuxia's pain. Then Han Qi says, "Who told you to sing this song?" So Chuxia says, "Xinwei told me to sing this song," but Xinwei denies it. So Meng also comes and supports Chuxia, but Xinwei is not ready to agree, and she repeatedly denies it. So Chuxia gets angry and starts going towards Xinwei, but Han Qi grabs her hand and pushes her back so forcefully that she falls into the water. So Ling Yu quickly goes and pulls Chuxia out of the water, and the manager covers her with a towel. Han Qi's mom gets very angry at him and takes Chuxia away from there. So Han Qi angrily tells everyone to leave. When everyone leaves, Han Qi starts playing the piano. Now we see a scene from the past where Han Qi was very happy with his ex-girlfriend, whose name was Xiang. Xiang and Han Qi couldn't live without each other, meaning they both wanted to live and die together. But this same love had become a prison for Xiang. That's why she says to Han Qi, "I want to do something on my own. I want to create my own identity. I don't want to live my whole life as your shadow. I don't want to marry you and live alone within 4 walls for the rest of my life. That's why I want to go abroad and study." So Han Qi says, "I will go with you too." So Xiang says, "That's why I want to go abroad, so I can stay away from you. You have done a lot for me, but please fulfill this one last wish of mine and let me go abroad." Han Qi says, "Okay, I will wait for you." Xiang says, "No, there is no need to wait for me because I will never come back." Han Qi really loved Xiang very much, so after Xiang left, he had become a heartless person. Now, in the present scene, when Chuxia is leaving in the morning, Han Qi also comes from the front, and they both start blocking each other's path. Just then, Han Qi's mom calls them both, so they start walking together and bump into each other. Chuxia is about to fall, so Han Qi catches her, and they both start looking at each other. Just then, Han Qi's mom comes there, which makes them both feel embarrassed. Now, when Chuxia is going to college, Han Qi is not with her. So Chuxia asks the manager about Han Qi. So the manager says Han Qi has taken a day off. And over here, Han Qi is also watching Chuxia leaving from the window. And then, when Han Qi is checking everyone's gifts, he finds Chuxia's box. And when he opens the box and sees the shirt, he happily puts on that shirt. And then he looks in the mirror, and something is written on the back of the shirt. And this shirt is for dead people. Seeing this, Han Qi quickly takes off the shirt and shouts Chuxia's name in anger. And over here, Chuxia sneezes, so she thinks, "My friends are missing me." And this news spreads throughout the college. Chuxia has hurt Han Qi's heart. So as soon as Chuxia goes to school, everyone starts running away from her. Now, there is a PT class. So Xinwei makes an excuse of having her period and takes leave. So Wanzi also makes the same excuse and leaves. And then the rest of them take the PT class, and suddenly a ball comes and hits Chuxia's hand. And this was Xinwei and Wanzi's doing. Ming gets very angry, but Chuxia doesn't let her say anything, and they both leave from there. A little while later, Xinwei and Wanzi come again and start bothering Chuxia. This time, Ming can't bear it and starts taunting Xinwei. So Xinwei threatens Meng about her father's job because Xinwei's and Ming's dads were about to have a deal with each other. But her threat doesn't work. Then Wanzi starts to slap Chuxia, so Chuxia grabs her hand and pushes her. Along with Wanzi, Xinwei also falls. Just then, the Class B teacher, Jian, sees this and comes and starts scolding Chuxia because Chuxia had also pushed Gao Gan before. So teacher Jian says, "Is it in your nature to push everyone?" and then starts giving Chuxia punishment. So Xinwei pretends to be good and says, "Teacher, maybe Chuxia didn't push me on purpose, so please don't punish Chuxia." So Chuxia starts getting angry at her, so the teacher tells her to run 20 rounds of the entire field. When Chuxia starts to protest, the teacher increases it by 10 more rounds. So Chuxia gets angry and goes to run the rounds. So Meng also goes after her and starts running with her. So Chuxia says to Meng, "If Teacher Jin sees you, he will punish you too, and that will increase my difficulty even more. So please don't run with me. I can do it alone. Don't worry and trust me." So Meng slowly backs away, and then Chuxia starts running alone and gets very tired. Xinwei is enjoying seeing her in this condition and tells Wanzi to bring ice cream. On the other side, Han Qi can't bear his insult, so he comes to the college to meet Chuxia. Ling Yu is laughing a lot at Han Qi's condition. Just then, Wanzi is going with the ice cream, so Han Qi asks her, "Where is Chuxia?" At first, Wanzi nervously stands there and then says, "She is on the field." No, she's in the library," and immediately runs away. So Ling Yu again makes fun of Han Qi, and they both go towards the library. But they find out that the library is not even open today. So Han Qi remembers what Wanzi said about the field, so they both run there. And over here, Chuxia can't even walk, but Xinwei tells her to run. Just then, Wanzi is nervously calling Xinwei, which irritates Xinwei. Just then, Han Qi comes and pushes Wanzi aside and puts his hand on Xinwei's shoulder himself. So Xinwei gets even more irritated and looks back, and Han Qi is there, seeing whom Xinwei is very shocked. So Han Qi says, "Why is Chuxia running?" But it's as if Xinwei has no tongue in her mouth. Just then, Ling Yu runs to Chuxia and tries to stop her, but Chuxia doesn't stop. And then Han Qi also comes and starts to stop Chuxia, but Chuxia doesn't listen to him either and says, "I don't want to lose to Xinwei. Only 2 rounds are left. I have to complete them." So Han Qi forcefully picks up Chuxia, and just then, Chuxia also faints. Ling Yu was just watching her. Han Qi also angrily looks at Xinwei and leaves. In the next scene, Han Qi's mom is sitting very worried. As Han Qi brings Chuxia, Han Qi's mom runs to Chuxia and raises a storm in the whole house. So Han Qi says, "Nothing happened, she just fell asleep," and takes Chuxia away. So Han Qi's mom is very worried that something or the other happens to Chuxia every day. So the manager says maybe Han Qi has accepted Chuxia. Hearing this, the mom becomes happy and leaves from there. So Ling Yu asks the manager, "What does it mean that Han Qi has accepted Chuxia?" So the manager says, "Han Qi's mom brought Chuxia into this house as Han Qi's wife." Hearing this, Ling Yu becomes very sad. In the next scene, at Chuxia's request, Xinwei's car drops Chuxia at a place and leaves. Chuxia was very scared in the deserted place, so she tries to leave, but it starts raining heavily. So Chuxia starts waiting for the rain to stop. Just then, Han Qi also comes there and says, "Because of the location you sent, it became difficult to find you." Saying this, Han Qi starts to pick up Chuxia, but Chuxia sits down holding her stomach because of her period, as she was feeling embarrassed and wasn't telling Han Qi clearly about her period. So she tries to explain by mentioning someone else's name, but Han Qi doesn't understand anything. So Chuxia says, "The thing that boys don't have, only girls have." Then Han Qi understands. So then he puts his jacket on Chuxia, holds her bag, and puts her in the car. And he takes her to a hotel, but Chuxia doesn't think this is right. She thinks that maybe Han Qi is doing something wrong with her. Han Qi tells Chuxia to get out of the car, but Chuxia doesn't get out. So Han Qi says, "This is our hotel. If I had taken you home in this condition, my mom would have killed me. That's why I brought you here so that we can go home after you freshen up." Hearing this, Chuxia then gets out of the car. So Han Qi holds her hand and takes her to the room. Chuxia runs to the washroom and is shocked to see the washroom. Just then, Han Qi comes there, so Chuxia tells him to leave from there. So Han Qi says, "I have no interest in seeing your noodle-like figure." Hearing this, Chusia closes the door on his face. Then Han-chi calls his mom and says, "Chusia is with me. You don't need to worry." And then Chusia takes off her dress and gives it to Han-chi. So Han-chi gives that dress to the manager and tells him to dry clean it. And then he is very hesitant while talking to the manager about Chusia's pad and explains by saying, that thing. So the manager understands something and says, "Which brand do you want?" So Han-chi gets irritated and says, "I have never used it, so how would I know?" And then he goes near the washroom and says to Chusia, "I used to have allergies on my lips, but ever since you kissed my lips, that allergy has disappeared. And I don't hate you, nor do I love you. You are very different from other girls, which I like very much. But since you came to my house, my mom's love was divided into two parts, which is why I started getting jealous of you, but in reality, I like you a lot." And here we also find out that Han-ki had happily accepted Chusia's shirt. And then Han-chi genuinely confesses his feelings to Chusia because he really wanted to be in a relationship with Chusia. Just then, Chusia's voice from inside stops coming. So Han-chi thinks, because of my confession, Chusia must have fainted from happiness. That's why he goes inside. Chusia gets scared seeing him and says, "Shameless, brazen, ill-mannered, what are you doing here?" And shouting, tells him to go outside. Han-chi gets very angry and goes outside. Just then, the manager comes and gives the necessary items to Han-chi. So, Han-chi gives the dress and necessary items to Chusia. When Chusia opens the packet and looks, her mind goes crazy, and she gets angry and throws the packet, starting to curse a lot, saying, "I already knew your intentions were not right, and now I have seen it too. How dare you give me all this?" When Han-ki looks, it's condoms instead of pads, which makes Chusia very angry. And Chusia had not heard the confession Han-chi made to her. Han-chi repeatedly starts asking Chusia about the confession, but Chusia hadn't heard it. So what reply could she give? And getting angry, she kicks Han-chi hard. So Han-chi gets up holding his stomach and angrily says, "Now I will go myself to get that thing." And when Han-chi goes near the shop, he gives himself courage and goes inside hiding his face. And he goes to where the pads were kept. But there were so many pads there that he doesn't understand which one to take. So the shopkeeper tells him, "Take this one." So Han-chi thinks, what will one do? So he picks up 3 packets of pads and goes back and gives those pads to Chusia, saying, "I brought the best pads." When Chusia comes out of the washroom, Han-chi has ordered food for her, but Chusia says, "I am not hungry. I want to go home." So Han-chi takes her home without any argument. In the next scene, Han-ki's mom tells Chusia about Han-chi's ex-girlfriend and says, "Since then, Han-ki has changed from a kind person to a heartless person. Since you came into this house, I have seen some changes in Han-ki. So please stay with Han-ki. Never leave my Han-ki." In the next scene, whenever Chusia was sad or had difficulty making a decision, she would come and write about it on the blackboard, which helped her a lot. So today, too, she has come to clear a confusion from her heart. She writes, "Does a person love a shadow, or do they love the person themselves?" Meaning, this means that if a person loves someone, do they first look for the shadow of the first person in the second person? After writing this, as she is leaving, she sees the girl who used to bully Chusia confessing her love to Feng today. Seeing this, Chusia is a little shocked, but Feng refuses because he likes Chusia. And that girl was also confident that Chusia could never love Feng, so she was sure that Feng would one day accept her love. Hearing all this, Chusia realizes, in the world, a person cannot be completely happy. The one they want, they don't get. There is always some pain in their heart. That's why she erases what she had written on the blackboard before and writes the same thing on the blackboard. In the next scene, when Chusia is sitting in class, the teacher comes with the exam results and says to Chusia, "You have topped." Hearing this, Chusia is very happy and starts feeling like a queen. But teacher Jian, I don't know what problem he had with Chusia, so he says to Chusia, "You have cheated." Chusia says, "No, I have not cheated. If you don't believe me, you can give me a retake." Hearing this, teacher Jian is shocked because students feel like dying while taking an exam once, but she is asking for a retake exam. So teacher Jian agrees. And after that, when Chusia's exam happens again, and only Chusia and 2 teachers are in a room, teacher Jian is shocked to see Chusia that even under such strict supervision, she is working so fast. But just then, Chusia starts thinking about something, so teacher Jian becomes very happy. He thinks she has forgotten, but Chusia starts writing again, and the exam is completed. In the next scene, when teacher Jian and 3 other teachers start checking the exam, everyone gives their own point of view. One teacher says, "I taught this question using a different method, but this is done using a different rule." So the other teacher says, "No, she has written it absolutely correctly." Hearing this, teacher Jian gets angry and leaves from there saying, "I will see for myself." Now teacher Jian goes to class and likes the decision of the teacher who found Chusia's mistake. So he says to Chusia, "You have done one question with a different method, so your marks have been deducted. This only proves that you have cheated." So Chusia says, I have not cheated, and the rule you are talking about is the basics. Yes, it is true that I did not follow the school's rule, but every math question can be solved with different methods. And then Chusia also tells the name of the book and the page number of the rule she followed. Hearing this, Teacher Jian has nothing to say, and Chusia, again, becomes a hero in front of the whole class. When the students are appreciating Chusia, Teacher Jian says, Chusia has topped. What are you proud of? First, look at your own marks. So Chusia says, it's not the student's fault, it's your fault because you don't teach properly. So Teacher Jian says, now you want to bet with me again? So Chusia says, if this class wins the national competition, you will have to say sorry to the whole class. So Teacher Jian says, if you lose the bet, what will you do? Chusia says, I will do whatever you say. So Teacher Jian says, okay, so from today, you will be the monitor of Class B, and leaves from there. Now all the students are very sad because they didn't like studying at all, and Chusia starts lecturing them with full energy. In the next scene, the next day, Chusia comes and again starts lecturing with full energy, but all the students pay no attention at all. So Chusia tries to explain a lot to them, but still, no student pays attention, which makes Chusia very sad because she could clearly see her defeat. Ming is trying to explain to her when Feng is passing by, so Meng calls out to him and forcibly takes Chusia for a walk. There too, Chusia's attention is only on the students. So Feng asks her the reason for being sad, and Chusia tells him everything. Just then, a person comes there whose name is Chen, and he comes and starts dancing, which everyone starts watching. Ming also comes and starts watching him and is very happy. Just then, a thief comes and snatches the mobile from Ming, so Ming starts shouting, thief, thief loudly. So Chen goes after that thief, and Ming also goes after Chen, and Chusia also goes after that thief. Now, as soon as the thief is running outside, Chen comes and catches him and hits him and takes the mobile from him. So the thief runs away from there. When Chen is giving the mobile to Ming, Chusia comes there, and thinking Chen is the thief, gives him a hard kick. So Ming runs to Chen and says to Chusia, he is not the thief. In fact, he is the one who helped me. And then Chen stands up and says Chusia's school name. So Chusia says, what will you do? Chen says, after studying in such a good college, how can she be so stupid that she can't tell the difference between a good boy and a thief? And Chen says many more things to Chusia, so Chusia kicks him again. Just then, Feng comes and handles Chusia, and Ming takes Chen and leaves. In the next scene, a new boy comes to Class B. Since he arrived, he was just sleeping with his face on the bench, so Meng was very curious to see the boy's face. Just then, Chusia enters the class and says, I am going to take a class test today. For every wrong step in math, the punishment will be 5 rounds of the field. Hearing this, all the students start counting how many rounds of the field they will have to run, because they knew that not a single step of theirs would be correct. Due to the noise in the class, the new student wakes up, and he is none other than Chen. Chusia is shocked to see him. So that boy looks at the test made by Chusia and throws it away, saying, you don't need to put pressure on such students. Leave them to their fate. Hearing this, Chusia gets angry and again goes to hit Chen. So Chen gets scared and says, if you hit me, I will file a violence complaint against you. Chusia says, what do you want after all? So Chen takes out 2 thick books and says, if you read these 2 English books in one day, I will listen to everything you say, and all the students will try to give their best. And if you don't do this, then leave us to our fate, because as difficult as it will be for you to read the book in one day, it will be that difficult for all these students to prepare for the test in 15 days. So Chusia accepts the challenge and says, who said I can't read this book in one day? In the next scene, the next day, Chusia reads the book and starts giving Chen the exam. Chusia fluently answers every small and big question from Chen. And then, one by one, all the students ask Chusia a question, and Chusia answers all of them too, and once again becomes a hero in front of the whole class. Chen says, how did you do this? When Chusia tells him hearing this, Jiang seems to lose his senses. In the next scene, the competition day comes, and soon after, the result comes out, in which Chusia tops this time as well, and all the other students also get good marks. But they had secured a position in this college, but they couldn't secure a position in the entire city. And Ling Yu and Han Qi also deliberately leave the exam blank because they wanted to make Chusia win. Now, Chusia had lost the competition, so she comes to apologize to Teacher Jean. Now, before Teacher Jean says anything, Chusia's classmates come there and say, even if we didn't top in the entire city, we did in college, and it's because of Chusia that we have improved so much. Please don't expel her from college. If you expel Chusia, we will also leave this college. Teacher Jian says, who said I am going to expel Chusia? And then he tells all the students to leave from there. When all the students leave, Teacher Jian says to Chusia, I thought you would spoil Class B, but because of you, the class has improved a lot. So, as punishment, from today, you will be the leader of Class B. Hearing this, Chusia is very happy. In the next scene, scene, Xinwei comes to tease Chuxia because she only wanted to talk to Chuxia, so she tells Meng to leave from there. Meng doesn't want to leave from there, but on Chuxia's insistence, Ming has to go. Ming was very angry at Xinwei. Just then, Chen is passing by, so he asks Meng about Chuxia. So Meng says, Chuxia is talking to Xinwei, and I think that Xinwei is going to do something wrong with Chuxia. Hearing this, Chen gets angry and says, you think something wrong is going to happen to Chuxia, so why did you leave Chuxia alone? And he quickly starts going towards Chuxia. Now Chen had also started to like Chuxia, so he quickly goes to protect Chuxia. So Xinwei says to Chuxia, wow, you have kept so many boys for your protection. Xinwei had been insulting Chuxia for a long time, so Chuxia also had to reply. That's why she talks about participating in the Wally competition. Hearing this, Xinwei starts smiling because she knew that she would win, and then Chuxia makes a bet with Xinwei to win the competition. So Xinwei says, let's see how you win against me. Now, Chuxia didn't know what happens in the Wally competition, so she goes to Dr. Maria and starts asking about it. And this show was about fashion, but Chuxia had no connection with fashion whatsoever. Dr. Maria starts examining Chuxia from all angles to see what attractive feature she has, but Dr. Maria doesn't find any part of her beautiful. So Dr. Maria says, only your heart is beautiful. And then Dr. Maria tells Chuxia how to apply makeup. In the next scene, Ling Yu takes Chuxia for shopping. When Han Qi finds out that Chuxia is going shopping with a boy, i.e. Ling Yu, he calls Xinwei and asks her to go shopping with him. In the next scene, Xinwei is going shopping with Han Qi. So she is very happy and repeatedly clings to Han Qi, but Han Qi is also repeatedly pushing her away from him because he had come here to find Chuxia. Now, Xinwei starts picking out a dress and asks Han Qi about the dress, so Han Qi says yes without looking. But Han Qi's eyes were only searching for Chuxia, and on top of that, Xinwei was repeatedly clinging to Han Qi, and Han Qi was also repeatedly pushing her away. And just then, Han Qi finds Chuxia. Seeing Chuxia, Han Qi pulls Xinwei close to him, and when Chuxia starts to leave with Ling Yu, Han Qi pushes Xinwei away. And as soon as Chuxia looks back again, Han Qi again grabs Xinwei. And then everyone starts shopping, where Chuxia and Han Qi were making and breaking eye contact with each other. And then Ling Yu was helping Chuxia select a dress. Seeing this, Han Qi also gives a dress to Xinwei. Xinwei doesn't like that dress, so Han Qi says, I said it's nice, so it's just nice. And there, Meng is also showing dresses to Chen after changing, and asks him to choose a dress, but Chen's eyes were also only on Chuxia. And then Ling Yu is putting sandals on Chuxia, and Han Qi is just watching him from a distance. Just then, Xinwei comes and asks Han Qi to zip up her dress, but Han Qi opens her zip even more. Xinwei tells him again, so Han Qi forcefully pulls her zip up. Actually, all of Han Qi's attention was on Chuxia, and then the three girls repeatedly change dresses and come out, and the three boys judge their dresses. The three boys like the last dress a lot, and all three of them say yes to it. Now, there were only three girls, but all three boys were judging only Chuxia. Now, after the shopping is over, Meng says, let's go to the haunted house. But Han Qi refuses. So Chuxia says, why? Are you scared? Hearing this, Han Qi gets ready to go. And then everyone goes inside scared, and at one point, Han Qi and Chuxia get separated from each other out of fear. So Ling Yu starts calling for Chuxia, and Xinwei starts calling for Han Qi. On the other side, Chuxia asks Han Qi, are you scared? So Han Qi says, no. Chuxia says, then why are you holding my hand? Seeing this, Han Qi immediately lets go of Chuxia's hand, and then they pass through a laser light very scared and start looking for a way out. Going a little further, Han Qi puts his hand on Chuxia's shoulder, so Chuxia punches him in the face out of fear. And then she says, sorry to Han Qi. So Han Qi says, what did you say? Chuxia says, if you didn't hear it, then let it be. And then Han Qi changes the light to find Ling Yu, which opens up the sky in front of them. Chuxia is impressed seeing it. Seeing this artificial sky, Chuxia starts remembering the moments she spent with Han Qi. And Han Qi asks Chuxia, what were you thinking? Chuxia says, nothing. So Han Qi moves forward to kiss her. So Chuxia starts saying all sorts of nonsense to change the environment. When Han Qi again starts to kiss Chuxia, a ghost comes in between, so Chuxia and Han Qi beat up that ghost badly. And then while leaving, those people start apologizing to them. In the next scene, we find out that Chuxia's well-wisher was none other than Han Qi. And today too, Chuxia goes there and writes on the blackboard, what is your name? After writing this, Chuxia leaves from there. Just then, on the way, she sees Feng and that girl together. So Feng says, finally, I had to accept her love. Hearing this, Chuxia is very happy. And on the other side, Han Chi writes in reply to Chuxia, "It's not a good thing to ask someone's name like this," and while leaving, he forgets his locket there and leaves. Before going home, Chuxia once again goes near the blackboard, and just then, Han Chi also comes back to get his locket. So seeing her there, he stops right there and starts watching her secretly. After Chuxia leaves, Han Chi comes to see her reply. Chuxia had written, "When we are in front of each other, I will talk to you even more." Han Chi is very happy reading this, and on the other side, Han Chi's ex-girlfriend also comes back. In the next scene, the competition starts, and one by one, the candidates come and show their performance. When it's Xinwei's turn, the 3 judges give Xinwei 10 marks, and then it's Chuxia's turn. At first, Chuxia was a little nervous, but then she starts walking with full confidence, so everyone starts clapping for her. And then it's time for everyone's special talents. So Chuxia also dances very well. After dancing, everyone appreciates Chuxia. So Chuxia starts remembering the support of her friends. Remembering all these memories, Chuxia gets emotional. In the next scene, the final day of the competition arrives, where all the candidates have to say something. Xinwei says the opposite of what she thinks, meaning she says, "A person should be beautiful from the inside. Outer beauty is not that important, and winning and losing are part of life." Saying this, she leaves. When it's Chuxia's turn, she comes on stage and says, "Even now, all this is like a dream for me. I never thought that I would be able to study in a college like this." Chuxia is about to say something about her past when a video footage of Chuxia's past starts playing on the screen. Xinwei had done all this. Just then, Chen also comes on stage and starts shouting, and Han Chi also doesn't like all this. Chuxia also feels embarrassed, but she composes herself and says, "It's true that I belong to this place. I used to work day and night with my mom in a small house, and in my childhood, my dad left me. That's why I used to wait for him to come. When I was little, the neighborhood kids used to bully me, and so that my mom wouldn't worry about me, I used to leave my tears outside the house. My mom was also bullied, and for my sake, she would also wipe her tears outside." And she says many more emotional things, which makes everyone very emotional, and everyone starts appreciating Chuxia. Now, it's time for the second round, so Xinwei tears Chuxia's dress. So Chuxia asks a person about a sewing machine, and that person tells her. So Chuxia quickly goes and starts fixing her dress. But Meng is very worried for her. Just then, Ling Yu and Han Chi ask Meng about Chuxia, so Meng tells them everything. So both of them leave from there. Ling Yu goes to Chuxia and says, "Come on, I'll get you a new dress." Chuxia says, "I don't want to go anywhere. I want to wear this dress. If possible, just get me a little time." Just then, Han Chi comes there and says, "Now you will be called as the last candidate." Seeing Han Chi's care, tears come to Chuxia's eyes. So Han Chi starts to go to handle everything. So Chuxia says thank you to him from the heart and starts fixing the dress again. Ling Yu starts looking at her and then leaves from there. As soon as Ling Yu goes outside, his grandpa's bodyguards come to pick him up. In the next scene, Meng was practicing proposing to Chen in different ways. Sometimes angrily, sometimes with love, sometimes being cute, sometimes smiling, but she doesn't like any of the ways. Just then, Meng hears some noise from that side. When Meng looks there, Chen is also practicing proposing to Chuxia. Seeing this, Meng becomes sad because whoever Meng liked started liking Chuxia. First Ling Yu and now Chen. On the other side, Chuxia gets a call. She is told, "If you want to know about your dad, come outside immediately." So Chuxia runs outside. There on stage, it's also Chuxia's turn, so to make this moment magical, Han Chi starts playing the piano. And at Han Chi's request, Zhang starts changing the lights, so a beautiful scene is created everywhere. Just then, a girl comes on stage who is not Chuxia. Han Chi, mistaking that girl for Chuxia, starts proposing to her in front of the whole school. Just then, the lights turn on, and that girl is none other than Han Chi's ex-girlfriend, Xiang. Seeing this, Han Chi is also shocked, and Xinwei also gets a shock that one girl hasn't left and another has also come. In the next scene, Chuxia quickly goes outside and starts looking for that person. Just then, some people come in a car and take Chuxia away. Chuxia is screaming a lot. Their car passes by Ling Yu's car, so Ling Yu quickly stops the car and gets out. Then another car comes from behind, which causes Ling Yu to fall. So Ling Yu quickly calls and tells Han Chi about Chuxia's kidnapping. So while leaving, Han Chi also tells Chen and Meng. And then everyone starts looking for Chuxia. On the other side, Chuxia was screaming so much that it was not clear whether Chuxia was troubled by them or they were troubled by Chuxia. And because of this, a man comes and puts a cloth in Chuxia's mouth. Then, one by one, everyone arrives there and starts looking for Chuxia in different directions. After that, the one who kidnapped Chuxia was none other than Gao Gan. Gao Gan had her kidnapped because the one Gao Gan liked Han Chi. That's why he abducts Chuxia, because Hanchi liked Chuxia. He wanted to see if Hanchi comes to save her or not. And even if Hanchi came there, Gaogan was going to beat him a lot. That's why he messages Hanqi. Chuxia is at this place. If you want to save her, come. Seeing this, Hanqi sends everyone in different directions and goes there himself. So Chuxia gets angry seeing him because she knew Gaogan's purpose. Just then, Gaogan comes and grabs Chuxia. Hanqi was also ready to fight Gaogan, but Gaogan was holding Chuxia and he didn't want to take any risk. So Hanqi gives up. He is ready to take a beating for Chuxia. So Gaogan says, I will let Chuxia go when you let me break your leg. And then he beats Hanqi a lot. And as soon as Gaogan is about to hit Hanqi's leg, Meng, Chen, and Feng arrive there. And Chen tells them to play a sound, which is of the police. Hearing this sound, everyone runs away from there. And then everyone quickly comes to Chuxia and Hanqi. In the next scene, Chuxia is applying medicine to Hanqi, so she apologizes to Hanqi. Hanqi says, this is between me and Gaogan. Why are you apologizing? I should be the one to apologize because you couldn't go to the competition because of me. Chuxia doesn't say anything in reply. So Hanqi, seeing Chuxia so quiet, asks, why are you so quiet? You're even talking to me so calmly. Then Hanqi, while moving the hair from Chuxia's face, says, now I don't want to be just friends, be my girlfriend. Chuxia is still sitting quietly. So Hanqi starts to kiss Chuxia when Hanqi gets a call from someone. While talking on the call, Hanqi was feeling disturbed, so he hangs up the call. Chuxia asks, whose call was this? Hanqi says, it was a useless call, and this call was from none other than Xiang. Xiang didn't think that Hanqi would change so much in 2 years. She thought Hanqi would be very happy to see me, but Hanqi didn't even want to talk to her. In the next scene, a new student comes to Class B, and she is none other than Xiang because Xiang had found out that Chuxia lives at Hanqi's house. In the next scene, Chuxia is standing outside the college. Just then, 2 men ask her to go with them. Chuxia thinks that these are Gaogan's men, so she starts screaming and shouting. So those men put cotton in their ears, but Chuxia still screams a lot, so they are forced to make Chuxia unconscious. When Chuxia opens her eyes, she is sitting in front of Ling Yu's grandpa. Chuxia thinks that he is probably their boss, so Chuxia starts acting strangely. So the grandpa gets up and brings a glass of water to her, but Chuxia thinks that he might throw water on her face, so she grabs his hand. But when Chuxia finds out that he is Ling Yu's grandpa, she apologizes to him. Ling Yu is also sitting there. Ling Yu's grandpa likes Chuxia a lot, so he makes a firm decision to marry Chuxia to Ling Yu and says, after Ling Yu's graduation, I will get you two married. Hearing this, Chuxia is shocked, and to save herself, she is forced to say, my marriage is already fixed. In the next scene, Hanqi is worried about Chuxia. A thought suddenly comes to his mind. What if Chuxia is with Chen, and they are doing something wrong? So he runs to go outside, and as soon as he opens the door, Chen is there, who has come for Chuxia. Just then, Ling Yu's grandpa comes there from behind. So Hanqi's mom runs to them, and Chen and Hanqi are fighting like children. Ling Yu's grandpa had only come to confirm if Chuxia's marriage was fixed. So Hanqi's mom says, yes, absolutely. Chuxia's marriage has been fixed with Hanqi. And on the other side, Hanqi and Chuxia liked each other, but due to ego, they couldn't confess to each other. And Hanqi gets jealous seeing so many boys behind Chuxia and says, I don't know what's wrong with Grandpa's eyes that he wants to make you the daughter-in-law of his house. And what do other boys see in you to like you? There's nothing good about you. Chuxia says, oh, really? You yourself proposed to me 2 days ago and asked me to be your girlfriend, and today you feel like this? Hanqi says, I proposed. To you? When and where? I don't remember anything. Chuxia says, yes, I must have misunderstood, and then closes the door. In the next scene, Chuxia and Hanqi's mom are sitting together. Just then, Xiang comes there and also brings gifts for everyone and says, nothing has changed here. Hanqi's mom is not at all happy to see her, so she says, look, everything has changed. And the biggest thing is that Chuxia has come to our house. Hearing this, Xiang feels very bad. So the mom tells the manager to drop Xiang home. When Xiang is leaving, Hanqi hears her voice and comes out, and he says to Xiang, I need to talk to you alone. And then he takes Xiang to the rooftop. Then Hanqi's mom takes Chuxia and secretly starts listening to their conversation. And then Xiang apologizes to Hanqi. So Hanqi says, if it's a matter of apology, I have already forgiven you long ago. And if you expect something more from me, I can't give you that. Saying this, he leaves. In the next scene, Chuxia again goes to apply medicine to Hanqi, but Hanqi is still showing his attitude. Chuxia tells him to stop doing that, but Hanqi still doesn't stop. So Chuxia puts the first aid box right there and starts to leave. So Hanchi grabs her hand and makes her sit down and gives a gift to Chusia. Actually, the manager had told Hanchi to give this gift to Chusia. Chusia likes the gift a lot, so she says thank you to Hanchi. Hanchi can't believe it and asks her to say thank you again. So Chusia says thank you to him again. Then Hanchi asks, do you like Chen? So Chusia says, am I blind that I would like him? Hearing this, Hanchi is very happy and repeatedly asks Chusia to come near him. So Chusia gets a little closer to him. So Hanchi himself gets close to her and kisses her near her ear. So Chusia runs outside out of shyness. Then his mom sees Chusia blushing and understands and starts laughing. In the next scene, Dr. Maria sees a strange person, so she gives him an injection and makes him unconscious. And when she takes off his mask, he is none other than Teacher Tian. So she takes Teacher Tian to the restroom, and Chusia gives him noodles. So he quickly eats the noodles and says, for now, I am not leaving this city and going anywhere. So Chusia says, you should join the college again. Teacher Tian says, I also wanted that, but I am afraid that the principal will not agree. Hearing this, Chusia becomes sad. Seeing her sad, Chen says, I can talk to my dad and bring Sir Tian back. Hearing this, Chusia is very happy. In the next scene, Hanchi is busy with his telescope. Just then, he hears a noise from the rooftop. So Hanchi takes a stick and goes to the rooftop, and Chusia is there. So he quickly goes and turns on the light and then picks up a notebook and looks. He finds out that Chusia has failed the dance paper. Chusia quickly takes the notebook and starts to leave. So Hanchi says, come on, I'll help you. So Chusia also starts dancing with him. Now Chusia is repeatedly stepping on Hanchi's feet, and when Hanchi says a little something, Chusia gets angry and starts to leave. So Hanchi stops her and tells her to take off her shoes, and he also takes off his shoes. And then he tells Chusia to put her feet on his feet, and then they both start dancing. Hanchi is very happy. In the next scene, at Feng's request, Chen asks Chusia to go to the villa. At first, Chusia taunts him, but then at Meng's request, she says sorry to Chen and gets ready to go with him. After that, when Chen goes to pick up Chusia, he sees that Chusia has also brought Xiang and Meng with her. Xiang had also become Chusia's friend. Seeing this, Chen's dream is shattered because he only wanted to go with Chusia. When they all reach the villa while having fun, Xinwei clicks their photo and sends it to the college group. When Hanchi sees this conversation in the group, he immediately gets ready to go there. Over here, on the other side, everyone is sitting and talking, and Xinwei is sitting at the table next to them. A little while later, Hanchi also comes there and sits directly with them. Seeing this, Xinwei calls Hanchi to her side, but Hanchi doesn't go to her. Chusia says to Hanchi, when will you leave from here? So Hanchi says, why? Don't you want me to stay here? Chusia says, it's not like that. All the rooms here are booked, so there is no place to stay. If you don't leave now, it will be very late, which will not be safe for you. Chen also wanted this, so he agrees with Chusia. So Hanchi says, I will stay in Chusia's room. Hearing this, Chen says, no, you can stay in my room. So Hanchi also agrees. In the next scene, Hanchi and Chen start arguing about sleeping on the bed. Both of them were used to sleeping alone and both wanted to sleep on the bed. That's why Chen puts a pillow in the middle. But Hanchi sleeps on the bed himself and tells Chen to sleep on the sofa. But Chen wanted to sleep on the bed, so he starts doing martial arts, but by then Hanchi has fallen asleep. So Chen also quietly sleeps on the same bed. Now, in the middle of the night, Chen passes gas from behind. So Hanchi tells him to sleep quietly, but Chen climbs on top of him, so Hanchi gets angry and goes outside. Chusia is also standing there, so they both start talking. And then Chusia brings up Zhang, which makes Hanchi angry. So Chusia says, don't ignore her. If nothing else, she can at least be your friend. So Hanchi says, how can you be so heartless? Can't you see my pain? Chusia says, I am just helping you, and today you are ignoring Xiang because of your ego, but later you will feel guilty for this. Hanchi finds these words useless, so he leaves. In the next scene, in the morning, everyone is making a barbecue. Seeing Chen working alone, the three girls start helping Chen, so Hanchi also gets up and starts helping them. Now Chen also starts helping Hanchi a little, so Hanchi gets irritated and pushes him, which causes Chen a little injury. So Ming and Chuxia run to Chen, but Hanchi still doesn't say sorry to Chen. So Chuxia gets angry and says, even after making a mistake, you didn't say sorry. What do you think of yourself? Hanchi also gets very angry, so he leaves from there. So Xiang also starts going after him. And over here, Meng also starts explaining to Chuxia, do you think that Xiang is making friends with you with good intentions? If she likes Hanchi, why doesn't she tell him herself? If not, why doesn't she consider those who are around her and like her? Hearing this, Chuxia gets very angry. On the other side, Xiang says to Hanchi, "Forgive me, I will never leave you again." So Han Chi says, "I waited for you like a madman. Everyone laughed at me, but I still trusted you. But what did you do to me?" In the next scene, Chusia gets angry and goes outside to get some fresh air. So Shin Wei also goes after her. Chusia passes by a room and starts hearing a girl's voice who is asking for help. Chusia goes inside to help her, so Shin Wei comes and locks the door. Xiang is also passing by there. She has seen everything, but she still doesn't help. On the other side, Chen asks Meng about Chusia, so Meng angrily says, "I don't know." So Chen calls Chusia, but the phone doesn't connect. Then Han Chi gets angry and grabs Chen's collar, saying, "How did you let Chusia go alone?" So Chen also angrily says, "Did you take care of Chusia? Did you go with Chusia?" Just then, Meng tells them both to stop fighting, so they both stop. And Chen goes with Ming to find Chusia, and they both go to the reception and ask to see the CCTV footage, but they don't get much information. So Meng starts crying a lot because she had said a lot to Chusia. Chen repeatedly tries to explain to Ming, but Ming doesn't listen to him. So Chen pretends to have an injury on his hand. Seeing this, Meng gets worried for him. Then Chen explains things to her a little. On the other side, Chusia tries to get out herself. Just then, Han Chi is also passing by there, and Chusia is also trying to break the door. Hearing the noise, Han Chi quickly goes there and finds out that Chusia is inside. So he quickly goes to call Chen, but there is no network here, so he goes a little further and calls Chen. So Chen quickly goes to get the key. Now, until the key arrives, Chusia and Han Chi sit and talk. Chusia tells about her childhood and says, "I used to live with my mom in a house just this small." And then they both apologize for what happened that night. Chusia says, "I didn't want you to feel down thinking about your past." Hearing this, Han Chi says thank you to her. A little while later, Chen and Meng come with the key person. As soon as the door opens, Chusia looks at Han Chi as if no one else is standing there, and then quickly hugs Han Chi. Han Chi also feels very good. Chen and Xiang feel very bad seeing this. And then Meng also hugs Chusia and starts crying, so Xiang sadly leaves from there. In the next scene, Chusia goes to Ling Yu's house, and she, Grandpa, and Ling Yu eat together. Then Grandpa asks Chusia, "What do you want to become?" Chusia says, "I want to become a fashion designer." Hearing this, Grandpa starts telling about Ling Yu's grandma, that she was also a fashion designer, and then he also starts showing many of Grandma's designs. Just then, a photo falls out from among those designs, so Chusia picks up that photo, and it is a photo of her mom. Grandpa says, "That's why you looked familiar to me." Now, Grandpa knew Chusia's mom very well. Then Chusia asks, "Who is the person standing with my mom?" So Grandpa says maybe he was her boyfriend. And then he also tells the name of that city. Hearing this, Chusia goes home and prepares to go there. She also wanted to take Han Chi with her, but she finds out that Han Chi is going somewhere, so she doesn't bother him and goes to her room and starts packing her things. Just then, Chusia's ticket falls down, but Chusia doesn't realize it, and she writes on a page, "I will stay at Meng's house tonight," and leaves after writing it. Just then, a little while later, Han Chi comes to Chusia's room and sees that Chusia is not there. And he also reads that she is staying at Meng's house. Han Chi was about to believe this when he finds that ticket, so he understands that Chusia is going somewhere. Over here, Chusia also comes back to get the ticket, so Han Chi gets angry at her. So Chusia says, "I was going to find my father." So Han Chi also gets ready to go with her. Over here, Xiang calls Han Chi, so Han Chi says, "I am not going to the exhibition today. I have some work." Hearing this, Xiang becomes sad, and her stomach starts to hurt. Just then, a lady comes and helps her. And over here, Han Chi asks Chusia, "Will you eat?" Chusia says, "No, now let's go straight home." Han Chi says, "Are you afraid of meeting your dad? Or are you afraid that you won't find him?" Han Chi then holds Chusia's hand and says, "You don't need to be afraid. I will always be with you." Just then, Han Chi gets a call from the hospital, which tells him about Xiang. Han Chi didn't want to go there, but at Chusia's insistence, they go to the hospital together. So Han Chi asks Xiang about her well-being and then tells Chusia to go home. So Chusia says, "Okay," and then they both go outside. Just then, Chusia says, "I forgot my mobile there." And they both then go to the cabin to get the mobile, and Xiang is taking a lot of medicine at once. Seeing this, Chusia and Han Chi run to stop her. So Xiang pretends as if she doesn't want to live anymore. Then Han Chi asks Xiang, "Why did you come back here?" So Xiang says, "After leaving here, I found out what I had left behind. After going there, I found out that I am no longer Xiang. My happiness, my everything was in that house." Saying this, she starts crying, so Han Chi's heart melts. That's why he hugs Xiang. Seeing all this, Chusia gets jealous and leaves from there. So after consoling her, Han Chi turns back and sees that Chusia is not there. But he still ignores this and says, Mom must have called Chuxia, that's why she went home. And then Han Chi also leaves. Then we find out that Xiang had deliberately taken Chuxia's mobile so that when she comes to get the mobile, she can act like she is taking medicine and gain Han Chi's sympathy. In the next scene, Han Chi says to Chuxia, will you go to dinner with me? Hearing this, Chuxia says, will only the two of us go? So Han Chi says a little hesitantly, no, Xiang will also go. Hearing this, Chuxia angrily says, if you are happy with Xiang, then go with her. Why are you bringing me in between? Han Chi says, are you getting jealous? Chuxia leaves from there without answering. In the next scene, when Xiang and Han Chi are leaving, Han Chi again asks Chuxia to go. So Chuxia says, why should I go like this? You open the car door for me. So Han Chi opens the door for her. In the next scene, while having dinner, Xiang is deliberately talking to Han Chi in such a way, and Han Chi is also feeling with her as if there were never any distances between them. Seeing this, Chuxia feels bad, so she starts eating quickly. But the food is not going down her throat, so she says, I am going home. But Han Chi doesn't let her go, and after eating, the three of them go home together. Now, after dropping Zhang home, Han Chi tells Chuxia to sit in the back with him. Chuxia says, I don't want to go with you. So Han Chi starts forcing her. Seeing this, Chuxia gets out of the car and starts walking home alone. So Han Chi again grabs her and puts her in a taxi. And in the middle of the road, Han Chi again stops the car because he wanted to talk to Chuxia alone about something. Chuxia says, I have done so much at your request. Are you still not satisfied? Han Chi thinks that Chuxia is participating in the fashion designer competition to get away from him. That's why he gets so angry that he kisses Chuxia. So Chuxia pushes him back, so Han Chi leaves from there. In the next scene, Han Chi goes to college with Xiang, which shocks everyone. When Feng finds out that Xiang and Han Chi are together, he takes Han Chi to his side and gets very angry at him, saying, Chuxia gave up the competition because of you, but you are still fooling around with Xiang. Hearing this, Han Chi comes to Chuxia to ask her, but here Chuxia also gets angry at him and says, if anyone speaks against my friends, understand that they are going against me. And she takes Meng and sits sadly in a place. Just then, Chen comes and gives Chuxia an entry pass. Seeing this, Chuxia is very happy and hugs Chen. Seeing this, Chen becomes very happy. In the next scene, Han Chi and Xiang are talking together. So Ming and Chuxia secretly start listening to their conversation. Just then, Chen comes from behind and gets angry seeing them listening to Han Chi and Xiang's conversation and goes to fight with Han Chi. Chuxia also comes to take him, but Chen doesn't get up and says, I have brought an entry pass for Chuxia, and I have also booked a hotel for Chuxia. Hearing about the hotel, Chuxia says, you did all this without asking? Just then, by mistake, hot tea spills on Xiang's hand, so Han Chi starts caring for her. Seeing this, Chuxia feels very bad, so she shifts to the hotel with Chen that very day. In the next scene, there is the first round of the competition, where everyone had to color a white t-shirt. Chuxia understands that if it were so easy, everyone would win. That's why she uses her brain and colors the shirt with different colors. When the judge sees the shirt, he not only selects Chuxia, but also gives her first place. Han Chi also comes to watch that competition. Seeing Chuxia win, he smiles and leaves from there. In the next scene, Chuxia goes near that blackboard, and there Han Chi had written good luck for Chuxia for the competition. Seeing this, Chuxia is surprised as to who it is that even knows about her competition. In the next scene, Han Chi's mom repeatedly tells Han Chi to go to Chuxia, but Han Chi reacts as if he doesn't care about Chuxia at all. But as the door knocks, Han Chi quickly goes and opens the door and says, finally, you came back. But Chuxia is not there. Instead, it is Han Chi's dad. Han Chi doesn't understand whether to be happy or sad, but Han Chi's mom is very happy. In the next scene, Han Chi talks to Xiang about going to England. Han Chi was interested in anatomy, but he was going to England at his dad's request. Xiang says, you are not going because of Chuxia, but after winning the competition, she will also go to France and you have to go to England. Then, one way or another, you two have to be separated anyway. In the next scene, Chen has arranged a party for Chuxia, where Feng and other classmates are also present. Over here, Han Chi only wanted to relieve his stress, so he takes Xiang with him. Now, he didn't need Xiang, so he tells Xiang to leave from here, so Xiang sadly leaves. On the other side, Chuxia drinks so much that she vomits. And over here, Han Chi's stress is not yet relieved, so he comes to write something on the blackboard, and then also takes the cat sitting there with him. In the next scene, when Han Chi comes home, his dad wants to talk to him about business, but Han Chi gets angry and starts taunting him, which causes Han Chi's dad to have a heart attack, so Han Chi quickly takes him to the hospital. On the other side, when Chuxia finds out about this, she quickly starts to leave from there, and over here, Han-chi is crying a lot sitting next to his dad. Just then, an employee from his dad's company comes because there was a big problem in Han-chi's dad's company. That's why Han-chi's mom comes to Han-chi to handle the company. Over here, Chusia runs to Han-chi's dad and starts crying a lot because his mom's kidney was also inside him, so she was somehow looking for her mom inside Han-chi's dad. In the next scene, Han-chi knew nothing about business, so he comes back home tired and defeated. His mom calls him and says, "I have given all the maids a day off, so you take care of yourself." As soon as Han-chi puts the phone down, the doorbell rings. So Han-chi opens the door and gets scared seeing Chusia and starts to close the door again, but Chusia stops him. Han-chi says, "Go away from here." But Chusia had come to take care of Han-chi, so she doesn't go. So Han-chi deliberately says, "Now that you have come on, come inside." Now, as soon as Chusia comes inside, Han-chi hides the cat. Now, as soon as Chusia comes outside, Han-chi asks her to sit next to him. Chusia comes and sits next to him, so Han-chi sits even closer to her and holds Chusia's cheeks, saying, "Now, whatever happens, we will not fight." Han-chi is so happy that Chusia has come home that he hugs her and also says thanks. And when Han-chi is about to kiss Chusia, a cat's voice comes from inside. Now, Han-chi was afraid that Chusia might investigate, so he himself starts making meow meow sounds. And then Han-chi takes Chusia and tells her to sleep in his room. In the next scene, Han-chi gets a call from the office, and he is told, "The client did not like your design." Hearing this, Han-chi gets worried. Xiang says to him, "Can I help you?" So Han-chi says, "Yes, you are a good designer, right? Please make a design for me too." Now, Han-chi is very worried and starts drinking with Ling Yu. Over here, Chusia also prepares a design for Han-chi. Just then, Han-chi also comes there in a drunken state and pulls Chusia close to him, saying, "No matter how badly you treat me, and no matter how much you curse me, but remember this, that I like you a lot. I won't be able to live without you. Please don't misunderstand me and push me away from you." Saying this, he kisses Chusia, and then they both get so lost in each other's love that they sleep on the same bed. When Han-chi wakes up in the morning, he thinks it's a dream, so he holds Chusia and goes back to sleep. When Chusia wakes up, she is startled to see Han-chi and quickly starts checking herself to see if everything is okay, if anything happened between them at night. In the next scene, Shinwei's dad sees Chusia's photo and wonders who this girl is, who is so intelligent. So he finds out about her background, and here we find out that Shinwei's dad is Chusia's dad. That's why Shinwei's dad invites Chusia and her friends for dinner. He invites them so lovingly that Chusia can't refuse him, and they all go for dinner with him. There, Shinwei's dad asks her to join the company, but Chusia clearly refuses. When Shinwei's dad can't convince Chusia, he tells everything truthfully. "Me and Chusia's mom, we were in a relationship. Chusia's mom's status did not match my status. That's why my family did not accept our relationship and told me to marry Shinwei's mom. I had thought that I would later divorce Shinwei's mom and marry Chusia's mom, but Chusia's mom went somewhere without telling me and also didn't tell me about her pregnancy, and I want to make you my daughter." But Chusia does not accept her dad and leaves from there. So Chen and Han-chi both go after Chusia. Seeing Han-chi, Chusia hugs him and starts crying. When Chen sees these two together, here we also find out another thing, that Chen was also Shinwei's cousin. So in this regard, Chusia is Chen's sister. So at that moment, Chen also changes all his relations with Chusia. In the next scene, Chen is a little sad. So to cheer him up, Meng takes him to the place where they first met. But there too, Chen starts remembering Chusia. So Meng takes him to the other side and starts playing basketball. But she was getting out again and again, so Meng doesn't stop playing until Chen plays for her. Then Chen also takes the ball from her and plays basketball, and he wins. And then they both start playing video games together, where Chen wins and, in happiness, hugs Meng. Poor Meng becomes a statue, and then Chen thinks of starting a brand after graduation. So Meng says, "I will support you in the future." In the next scene, Chusia goes home, and it's dark everywhere. Chusia calls for Han-chi. Just then, Han-chi comes with a cake and asks Chusia to make a wish, and he also starts making a wish himself. After making a wish, Chusia is going to turn on the light, so Han-chi stops Chusia and gives her a wishing bulb so that she can make a wish with it. Chusia says, "But what will I do with this wishing bulb? Because I have nothing to wish for." So Han-chi says, "Of course, you can wish that I can see you every day." And then Han-chi is just about to kiss Chusia when the house lights turn on. Han-chi's dad had been discharged, so he had also come home to celebrate Chusia's birthday. Han-chi gets very angry, but he doesn't say anything. And anyway, their company's problem was also solved. In the next scene, Chusia's dad was looking at Chusia's mom's photo, and he promises Chusia's mom, "I will not let Chusia's life become complicated. I will give her a very good life. Now, whatever I have to do for Chusia's life, I will do it." In the next scene, Chusia's dad, Ming, Feng, and everyone goes to watch the competition, and the judge was Xiang. So Wanzi calls Xiang and says, Xin Wei is definitely going to do something wrong with you. Just then, a person comes and makes Xiang unconscious and takes her with him, and Wanzi sees all this. A little while later, some designs are posted under Xiang's name, which everyone sees. On the other side, Xiang doesn't come for the judging, so Teacher Tian says maybe Xiang is not feeling well today, so she won't come. Then the competition starts. So first, Xin Wei comes and shows her designs, and then Chuxia is called on stage. When Chuxia comes on stage and shows her designs, everyone is shocked because Chuxia shows the same designs that were posted under Xiang's name. Chuxia repeatedly says, "These are my designs. I have designed them myself," but no one believes her. Just then, all of Chuxia's loved ones come and start supporting her. On the other side, we find out that Xiang was kidnapped by Gao Gan. In the next scene, Feng, Chen, Ling Yu, and Han Qi all think of finding Xiang, but they didn't know the exact location. Just then, Wan Zi comes there, so Feng catches her. Wan Zi is a little scared, so Han Qi tells her he will give her full protection. Then Wan Zi tells them, Xiang was kidnapped by Xin Wei. She is here in this college, but I don't know which room she is in. Hearing this, everyone thinks about the place and then runs there. And Han Qi just punches Gao Gan once, which makes him fall. Just then, one of the men gets a call from his boss, so they leave Gao Gan there and go. And hearing Xiang's voice, Han Qi opens the shutter, so Xiang hugs him. In the next scene, the winner's name is finally about to be announced when Xiang comes there and says, in front of everyone, "These designs were not mine, nor did I steal Chuxia's designs. I don't know how these designs were published." Just then, Xin Wei comes and starts saying so many bad things about Xiang that Xin Wei's dad comes and starts scolding her. But Xin Wei still doesn't say anything and starts saying bad things about Chuxia. So Xin Wei's dad starts to take her away from there. But Xin Wei starts saying bad things about Chuxia as well as her mom. Hearing this, Xin Wei's dad slaps her hard, so Xin Wei sadly leaves from there. So Xin Wei's dad also goes after her, because now everything had been proven. The winner's trophy is given to Chuxia. Then everyone together hugs Chuxia. In the next scene, Chuxia gets ready and goes to propose to Han Qi. And as soon as Chuxia confesses her love to Han Qi rejects her and says, "I have been given family responsibility, so I don't want to waste my time on love and all that." Han Qi didn't want to come in the way of Chuxia's success, so he rejects her. Now, Chuxia is very broken after hearing his rejection and leaves from there crying. As soon as Chuxia leaves, Han Qi also starts crying a lot. In the next scene, Ming, to keep Chen happy, asks Feng and his companions for entertainment. But Feng has two people with him who don't know how to do all this, so they leave. And Feng also gets a call from his girlfriend, so he also leaves. Then Meng starts crying because she was not able to keep Chen happy in any way. Chen, seeing Meng doing all this for him, gets impressed by Meng and hugs her, which makes Meng happy too. In the next scene, Chuxia is going with her dad, and everyone is getting emotional for her. Then everyone looks for Han Qi, but Han Qi is not there. So Chuxia says goodbye and leaves. While leaving, Chuxia's dad says to her, "If you want to cry, then cry." Hearing this, Chuxia starts crying in a loud voice. In the next scene, Han Qi sadly goes to that blackboard and, remembering the moments spent with Chuxia, writes on the blackboard, "I like Chuxia a lot." After writing this, as soon as he looks back, Chuxia is standing there. Han Qi couldn't believe that Chuxia was with him, so he sometimes pulls her cheeks, sometimes touches her. Chuxia says, "My flight was missed, so now I have to stay here for a few more days." And then when she looks towards that blackboard, Han Qi says, "The person who has been writing on this board for so many days was none other than me." Chuxia says, "I have known this for a long time. If you have anything else to say, then say it. Otherwise, I am leaving." Saying this, she starts to leave, so Han Qi hugs her and says, "I like you." And right here, this drama has a happy ending.